Have you ever wondered how some of the wealthiest families in history can fall from grace in just a single generation? We're uncovering the astonishing stories behind families that went from incredible riches to abject poverty, often due to mismanagement, extravagant spending, and unforeseen circumstances. Number 6. The Woolworths. Reflecting on my childhood, I can't help but smile at the vivid memories of exploring the expansive aisles of Woolworths with my brother. This iconic store was part of the legacy established by Frank Winfield Woolworth, who left a colossal fortune to his granddaughter, Barbara Woolworth Hutton. The 1987 TV movie Poor Little Rich Girl, featuring Farrah Fawcett, delves into the tumultuous life of Barbara, showcasing her dramatic rise and fall. But what truly transpired in Barbara's life? As the heiress to a staggering fortune, she reportedly squandered up to $500 million in today's value. Her extravagant spending included lavish purchases of art, opulent jewelry, and even indulging in the company of 7 husbands. One of her most notable unions was with Hollywood heartthrob Cary Grant, alongside a series of high-profile marriages to a Georgian prince, a count, a Russian prince, a diplomat, a baron, and a prince from the Kingdom of 𝐶𝐿. Despite her wealth, Barbara's life was marred by personal struggles. Many of her husbands exploited her for their gain, and she battled various psychological issues, compounded by addiction to drugs and alcohol, leaving her vulnerable. The tragic loss of her only son in a plane crash in 1972 marked a devastating turning point, plunging her further into despair. Ultimately, her struggles with mental and emotional instability clouded her judgment, leading to poor financial decisions that would haunt her for years. Number 5. The 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭. Meet John Werner 𝐶𝐭, a television mogul who ascended to the pinnacle of wealth as Forbes' richest man in America in 1987. His fortune stemmed from the sale of his company, Metromedia, which included a treasure trove of TV stations sold for an astounding $4 billion. These stations would later evolve into the backbone of the Fox television network as we know it today. However, the 𝐶𝐭 family's fortune unraveled after John's divorce from his wife, Patricia. She walked away with a staggering $1 million annual settlement and the couple's expansive 200-acre estate. Yet, a fateful decision to invest her entire settlement in a vineyard spiraled into disaster, leading her into crippling debt and eventual foreclosure on the property. In a twist of fate, Donald Trump acquired the vineyard, winery, and land in 2012 for a fraction of their original value, even purchasing the mansion that had fallen into foreclosure. The takeaway? When it comes to investments, knowledge is power. Avoid hasty decisions, especially with your hard-earned money. For those considering investment opportunities, starting with low-risk options like certificates of deposit, CDs, can be a prudent choice. Insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, up to $250,000 per individual, CDs act as secure promissory notes, restricting access to your funds until they mature. Once the set term ends, be it 6 months, 1 year, or longer, you regain access to your capital, plus the interest accrued. Number 4. The Pulitzers. The illustrious Pulitzer Prize, a prestigious accolade in journalism, owes its existence to Joseph Pulitzer, a tenacious immigrant from Hungary. He arrived in America with little but determination, eventually creating a formidable publishing empire and establishing the Columbia School of Journalism. However, the legacy of success would take a sharp turn with his grandson, Peter Pulitzer, who faced the daunting task of maintaining the family's wealth. Peter, once the proud owner of an 800-acre citrus farm in Florida, saw his dreams crumble when a devastating disease wreaked havoc on his orange trees, placing the farm on the brink of foreclosure. Despite documentation from his divorce suggesting his net worth hovered around $25 million, Peter found himself in a precarious position. In a surprising twist, his ex-wife's new husband had to come to his rescue, securing a new mortgage and line of credit just to keep the citrus grove afloat. What can we learn from this tale of rise and fall? It's not merely a cautionary note against investing in citrus, though that could be a tempting takeaway. The real lesson is the importance of diversification in your financial portfolio. You may have heard the age-old adage, don't put all your eggs in one basket. this rings especially true when it comes to safeguarding your wealth. Number 3. The Hartfords. The Hartford family's fortune began with George Huntington Hartford, a visionary who transformed a modest chain of tea and coffee stores into A&P, the first grocery store chain in America. Often likened to Walmart before Walmart by the Wall Street Journal, A&P reigned as the largest retailer in the country until its decline in 1965. However, the legacy was not to last. When Huntington inherited a staggering annual income of $1.5 million, he allowed his lavish lifestyle and a string of failed ventures to decimate the family wealth. After an impressive 156 years in business, A&P shut its doors for good in 2015. What led to this downfall? Huntington Hartford II, an art collector and self-proclaimed playboy, squandered his grandfather's hard-earned fortune on a series of dubious business endeavors. He dabbled in everything from the newspaper industry to film production, establishing a modeling agency, an artist's colony, and even a theater. He also attempted to adapt Jane Eyre into a play and open a self-named museum. Hartford owned opulent estates in New Jersey and Hollywood, along with luxurious residences in London and the Bahamas. Unfortunately, the latter resort alone cost him an astonishing $25 to $30 million without ever turning a profit, according to the New York Times. After his uncle's death in 1957, Hartford's fortune swelled to an estimated $500 million. Yet, he wed 4 times, with his divorces draining much of his inherited wealth. While indulging in the occasional luxury is perfectly acceptable, don't let your aspirations for a celebrity lifestyle drain your savings. To safeguard against overspending, consider setting up automatic deposits into a high-yield savings account. This way, you can enjoy life's pleasures while ensuring your financial future remains secure. Number 2. The Strohs. In 1850, Bernhard Stroh, a German immigrant, set foot on American soil with a mere $150 and a passion for brewing. At just 28, he launched his brewery in Detroit, crafting a delightful bohemian-style pilsner that quickly gained popularity. By 1865, he rebranded his establishment as Lion's Head Brewery, signaling the start of a family legacy. As the years rolled on, Stroh's sons took the reins, and by the 1980s, the family business had soared to become the 3rd largest brewery in the U.S., boasting an impressive fortune of $700 million. However, the dream would soon unravel. In their quest for expansion, the Strohs took on crippling debt, and fierce competition from American giants like Coors began to take its toll. Despite their efforts to innovate with new specialty and non-alcoholic beers and even explore international markets, they ultimately succumbed to the pressure of larger corporations. The Strohs made ambitious acquisitions, including Schlitz, a company with 6 sprawling plants. However, these decisions left them drowning in debt. As reported by Yahoo Finance, they found themselves with an overwhelming array of brands but insufficient marketing resources to promote their products effectively against the likes of Miller, Anheuser-Busch, and Coors. In addition to business missteps, some family members indulged in extravagant purchases, antiques, luxury cars, and shopping sprees without any long-term vision for preserving the family legacy. Eventually, the company was sold to Pabst for $350 million, with Miller acquiring some of their brands. Number 1. The Vanderbilts. Cornelius Commodore Vanderbilt, the patriarch of the illustrious Vanderbilt family, embarked on a remarkable journey in 1810, transforming a modest loan of $100 from his mother into a steamship and railway empire. By the end of his life, he had amassed an astounding fortune of $100 million, establishing his family as one of the wealthiest in American history. The Vanderbilts once reigned supreme in wealth, but as the generations passed, the family fell into a pattern of extravagant spending on lavish luxuries, opulent mansions, priceless classical art, and high-stakes gambling. Anderson Cooper, the award-winning journalist and CNN anchor, is a 6th-generation descendant of the Commodore. He recalls his mother's cautionary words, "There's no trust fund." So, what went wrong? While Cornelius Vanderbilt is celebrated as the 2nd richest person in American history, his heirs were less prudent. Although his son, William Henry Billy Vanderbilt, doubled the family fortune to $200 million. His descendants squandered it on thoroughbred horses and grand estates in New York City and Newport, Rhode Island. They neglected to safeguard the family business, which was key to their wealth. Could the Vanderbilts have maintained their fortune? Perhaps if Cornelius had imparted financial wisdom to his children or engaged a trusted advisor, they could have secured their legacy for future generations. The stories of these families remind us that wealth is a double-edged sword, and without wise choices, it can slip away faster than it came. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more eye-opening content. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay savvy with your money.